Blog Talk Radio.
This is American FIRST Patriot Podcast. I'm your Patriot host, CHAUNCEY Brown. My sidekick and my co-host is veteran Jarrod Tomassi. Should be in queue shortly. I hope that everyone did not get confused with the time. Today was supposed to be our last day that we were airing from 8 to 9. And on Wednesday, we're starting to air from 9:30 to 10:30. I hope. Yeah, exactly. And now Jarrod is texting me. 1 second. Okay, he's texting me. So hopefully Jarrod will call in, but I think that there has been a confusion. We did go to 9:30 to 10:30, and that was for Wednesday. And today was our regular time that we set up for. So hopefully he'll be calling in, shortly, and we could bring him on. We had a couple of people calling in. I know Nathan from Florida wanted to call back in and talk about the Constitution. We also had a former congressional candidate out of South Carolina, Raven Harrison, who was going to be calling in. I hope they did not get confused with the time change that I reported. I thought that, last week when I said that we made it for 8 o'clock, and then I posted out that the future dates. I hope that within that confusion, and I think that's what's going on now. And I hope that Jarrod is going to be calling in. We have a lot going on all around the world. One day we don't know if Putin is a good guy or a bad guy. We don't know if Lewinsky is a good guy or a bad guy. You don't know what news source to believe. Now there's rumors out there that Ukrainian might have been housing biological weapons of anthrax and other agents. We don't know what news agency is reporting the truth. You hear different things out of Europe, different things out of Russia, different things out of the United States, and nothing is consistent. So we'll see what is going on. Okay, I think that I have my sidekick in. Is this Jarrod?
What's up,
dude? I knew that when I was by myself, not you, but Nathan didn't call in, Raven didn't call in yet, and I was like, you know what? Everybody thinks that I moved it to Thursday, and it was just for this last day since we said last week. It was 8 p.m. I didn't want to change today's time, but now I realized that because, you were delayed, and now Raven is probably going to call it at 9:30, and so is Nathan. But what I can do is we could talk for a few minutes, and I can call Raven up.
Heck yeah.
And have her call in, man. Listen, you got to wait to hear Raven's story, about what the GOP did to her. I was just talking briefly before you got on about, the news. I watch and listen to the Russian news, the European news, and the United States news. And I don't know, one day Lewinsky's a bad guy, one day he's a good guy, one day Putin's a bad guy, next day he's a good guy. I don't know if we have biological weapons or biological factories with anthrax. I'm hearing that Putin destroyed. I mean, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, well, Yeah.
You don't know what's the truth.
Well, I think the biggest thing is this. This is the biggest thing for me that I have a hard time seeing and dealing with is we need to stop this mob mentality, this media-driven, insanity, because we're never going to know, the truth, right? So
exactly.
War is big business. It's been big business since, Saul in the Old Testament. It's big business. There's reasons behind war that we'll never know. But what the American people have to do, and the people around the globe need to stop jumping on bandwagons. And what I mean by that is that if there's a Crip and a Blood fighting, who do you vote for? Who do you want to win? Do you want the Crip to win? Do you want the Blood to win? They're both gangsters. Do you pick the smaller guy because he might lose? No, you don't. You say, man, I don't want them to fight. I don't want either of them to get hurt. I don't know why they're fighting, but that's not good. So we need to stop this urge to be on some side. I'm a Republican. I'm a Democrat. I'm a vaxxer. I'm an anti-vaxxer. I'm a black guy. I'm a white guy. I'm a Ukrainian supporter. I'm a Russian. First of all, don't support any of it. Step back. Think for yourselves. Stop being driven by emotions in the media.
Amen.
Just
Amen.
Relax,
Amen.
People. Relax.
Amen.
You are
Amen.
not war correspondents all of a sudden. You're not COVID epidemiologists. You don't know shit. We're all a bunch of idiots. So stop at least saying you're an idiot. Just relax, people. It is.
Today I said, we need more love in the world, man. Just say I love you, man. Just spread some love, And I put up I don't know if you saw, I put up a meme. Said, it's a joke. It's a joke and it's kind of serious. If the Bible says it's a sin, it's a sin, and that's it. But to see how people get all into their emotions and wrapped up about a meme. One person even said, what is Chauncey doing trying to impose his religious beliefs upon me? I never said what I was. It's a meme. People are attaching all these emotions. I'm just blocking them. I don't have time. Yeah, people accusing me of imposing my will upon somebody. You don't have to come on my post or on my feed. People that want to, I don't know if it's they got to feel like they want to be relevant or they have to say something. I don't know. I was taught as a kid that if you have nothing nice to say, keep your mouth shut. It's none of your business.
yeah, man. I know.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the machine about it, right? So you grew up, with some morals and values, and so did I. And,
right.
And lately, this microaggression stuff, which is really weird. It's really hard to comprehend because if you even look at I don't even refer to parties anymore. I think there are conservative Democrats. I think there are liberal Republicans. And what I want to get at is, I think there are progressives in every political party. And what's happening is progressives leave the center. The center is where the Constitution is built, and it's based off of foundations. Whenever you leave the center, you go into what's called an ideological world. It's a philosophy. It's more of emotion. And so people are fighting over these macro aggressions of beliefs versus our core values. And that's what's happening is I get pulled into these little arguments sometimes, and I'm like, wait a second, I'm being just as emotional as that person. And so what I'm talking to people about today personally is pull yourself back, quit getting into these microaggression, emotional politics, and recenter yourself. How did you leave the center? How did you leave it? I never left the center. Man, I want to work hard, I want to barbecue, and I want to retire, dude. Like, I never left the center.
Exactly.
So we just chill out, everybody. Chill out, because we're going to destroy one another. We're going to literally, you're going to, the days where you used to go out to the pub and just enjoy being different are getting ruined by all these microaggressive, weird ideas. You don't have to be like everybody. You just need to respect everybody's boundaries, right? So if I'm a Christian man and I walk into a place and I start talking about my beliefs, you don't have to engage. As a matter of fact, you don't have to be a part of that conversation. And you can literally just ignore it. You see a family praying, let them pray. If you see two women kissing and you don't believe in that, you don't have to say anything to them. You ignore it. Right. So if my kids see that and I say, hey kids, as a Christian, we don't believe in this and that, or as their family members, they see us praying, they go, hey, as evolutionists or whatever, atheists, people who don't believe in God, honey, that's for Christians. They do that stuff. Stop attacking people for their beliefs and stop making people have to believe what you do. Let it just be natural again. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, fire, dude. Dang.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I grew up as a kid. I'm a few years older than you, and you respected everybody. You knew your boundaries. You didn't try to impose your will upon other people. And it seems like in a society, a me society, is that everybody's trying to say, I can be me, and step all over everyone else without any type of respect or any just decency. Like, just because I think I am. And, and to push, there's no moral boundaries anymore. There's not even get to morals. Like, there's no even just basic courtesy and respect. Like, you had to block somebody on my feed on LinkedIn because the person didn't know how to act. That's ridiculous. I mean, come on.
You can't go into a Catholic church and start yelling at them because they don't believe in abortion. Don't go in there. No one goes, here's my perspective, and I try to keep I'm trying to get everybody recentered. I lived in Africa for 10 years. I was with oil and gas, okay? So I was a white guy in Africa, and the majority of the people there were black. There were white Africans, but they were very few in between.
Right.
I was treated differently. I wasn't discriminated against. I didn't feel that they were racist towards me, but I was treated differently. Could you imagine if I was like, you know what, it's not fair that I'm treated different. I'm going to start a White Lives Matter movement in Africa because they don't treat me exactly the same. No, you don't make a movement because you are a minority. You respect the cultures of the place that you're at. And if you don't like it, you don't go there.
Exactly.
Could you imagine to go to Saudi Arabia and starting a Christian Lives Matter movement and burning their cities down? Like, hey, we're going to burn all your cities down and riot because you don't treat Christians the same as Muslims. Like, no. You can't do that anymore, guys. Stop doing it.
That's a good point, Jarrod. I was thinking about myself and religion, and you know that I'm Jewish. But and as you're talking about it today, I grew up in that culture. I grew up in a Jewish neighborhood. My parents grew up in a Jewish neighborhood. All the stores around me were Jewish. So that, but I still was exposed to other cultures. And you talk about Africa, they're not exposed to any other culture but their own. You know what I mean? So me personally,
so do you make them feel wrong about that?
Absolutely not. You try to learn because it's something different. Like when I talk about my experience, I try to say, well, because I grew up 2 blocks from a temple, I grew up in a Jewish neighborhood, born in a Jewish hospital,